There are 4 unconventional investments that no one is talking about, and now is the time to invest. All right, my friend, this video is going to give you the 4 ways to invest in yourself in actually unconventional ways. And I read this or saw this in a podcast by Alex Hormozi, highly recommend it. He said, stop investing in the S&P, start investing in the S and me, meaning you and me in personal growth, because that's going to pay the highest dividend in the future. That all said, since starting my business career in the early 2000s, I have invested in thousands of books, of podcasts, of online courses, as masterminds that now I run, franchise business systems that I invested in now that I oversee as well. So there's been a lot of personal growth and personal investment to make me the man I am today, which really is the call to action for you. But I want to highlight 4 specific investments that have paid dividends in my life, some big, some small. The first is in 2004. Okay, not only did I enroll myself in an unpaid internship, so it was an investment, I worked for free, but I actually invested $6,000 into this program to get me to Los Angeles, which paid for my course credit, my internship placement, all the logistics around it. It was a massive, massive investment. I had to pull loans, I had to hustle, I had to work for the previous summers just to make this happen so I could quote unquote work for free. And while many people thought I was crazy, the fact of the matter is it moved me out west, which I stayed. It jumpstarted my career. It taught me both how to sell. It taught me how to lead. And as a consequence, I ended up being hired on afterwards because from a networking perspective, I met the CEO and founder of the company and worked with him for the better part of 10 years and sold over $10 million within his organization. So that quote unquote free job paid dividends, and it's all about investing in your future. The second is I've lived in 2 foreign countries, so I guess technically I've lived in 3 continents. It first started with a study abroad program in Asia, which I enrolled myself in Japan, Hong Kong, and Singapore. And again, these are unconventional ways to invest in yourself. But the matter is when you invest in yourself from a cultural perspective, from a travel perspective, you're putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, which creates growth. Looking back, if I had not lived in South America and Brazil specifically, if I had not lived in Asia, specifically Hong Kong, I would have had the breadth of knowledge and actually the confidence to be able to tackle on some other investments and other opportunities that have manifested in my business career since then. The third is actually investing in credentials specific to fitness. I'm in the fitness business. So in 2009, I invested in the National Academy of Sports Medicine to learn human movement and kinesiology. I also invested in the FAI, the Functional Aging Institute credentials. And those are 2 credentials of many. But again, I want to highlight these because these are not the typical go to school, get a good job type of investments. These are off the beaten cuff workshops, accreditations that are going to tool up your skill set so that way you can increase your income because you are increasing your high value income skills. So that is number 3. Number 4, and this is actually a story from my brother, which is so admirable. It's an investment that he made himself, but actually landed him as one of the main trainers for Elite Training, our regional trainings that we conduct at Fit Body Bootcamp, and landed himself as the executive director of coaching and profitability. And as the story goes, back in 2019, this is before COVID, when our brand was really starting to hockey stick in growth, Bedros and I, our founder, realizes that we needed to execute some more regional trainings throughout North America so that we pour into our franchise partners, pour into our owners, and pour to our coaches. So ultimately they can pour into their clients, grow their business, and grow their impact. And it was a new initiative, okay? And we actually didn't have a budget for it. But ultimately I was one of the trainers and then Bedros is the other, but we actually executed a 3-day event. And I knew we needed more bandwidth and firepower. So I asked Bedros, hey Bedros, I would love to enlist the help of my brother Barrett. Bedros is like, yes, good to go, but our budget actually is held right now. We don't have actually another training budget or more training budget for it. So I took this back to Barrett and I said, hey Barrett, as it turns out, we can cover your flight and logistics, but I want you to train. I know you put your hand in the air to do this. And actually, to me, take a step back, Barrett was the one initially who saw the opportunity to learn, to grow, develop, and actually give back and pour into our coaches and our franchise partners. So he was the one who initially inquired if he could actually join me in the training. And that's when I followed up with him and said, hey, the good news is we can get your logistics covered. The bad news is there's no actually additional budget to pay you actually for your services of training. Barrett took a step back and said, you know what? Freaking awesome. Let's go. I'm going to learn a lot. I'm going to give back, and I'm actually going to acquire a skill set in the process. And off we went. And actually 2019, of course, we all know what happened in 2020, even though we ran our regional trainings, into 2021. And I think we had about 6 to 8 trainings under our belt at this particular time. And then something happened on our elite training in Dallas when the schedule got moved. Bedros had not seen Barrett present, but Barrett had actually been studying and training and delivering the content for 8 previous workshops. So when Barrett basically presented that day, Bedros saw him. Immediately, he knew, holy smokes, this guy is one of the best presenters of the brand. Now, was Barrett foundationally the best presenter of the brand? No. Did he have the skill set, the natural ingredients? Absolutely. But he had dedicated himself. He had fine-tuned his skill over the previous 8 trainings to put himself in a position to deliver the fire, to become a really, really strong presenter. So it's about investing himself. Consequently, got the lead elite trainer role, and then now he's our executive director of coaching and profitability, all because of taking the mindset of, I'm going to invest in myself first, learn the skill set, acquire a skill set, and then charge for the skill set at a later date. And that, my friend, is my message for you today.